Jack Harmon stepped off the transport shuttle and looked up at Frontier Academy. The building was tall and gray against the blue sky. His new job as security chief started today. After 15 years in the military, this should be easy. "Welcome, Mr. Harmon," said a thin man in a dark suit. "I'm Vice Principal Keller. Principal Vaughn is waiting for you." Jack nodded and followed Keller through the main doors. Inside, students of different species moved between classes. Most were human, but Jack spotted several alien youths among them. "The Academy has a special mission," Keller explained as they walked. "We bring together the brightest young minds from across the galaxy." "And you need military-grade security for a school?" Jack asked. Keller's smile tightened. "We've had some incidents. The last security chief left suddenly, as did the one before him." They turned a corner and Jack noticed a girl standing alone by a window. She was human, with dark hair and pale skin. Unlike the other students, she wore no uniform, just plain gray clothes. "Who's that?" Jack asked. Keller glanced over. "Eliza, one of our special cases. She doesn't speak much." As if sensing their attention, the girl turned. Her eyes met Jack's. They were deep blue and somehow old, like they had seen too much. Jack felt a chill run down his spine. Principal Vaughn was a large man with a fake smile. His office was filled with awards and photos of him with important people. "Harmon, glad to have you aboard," Vaughn said, not standing up. "Your military record is impressive. We need that kind of experience here." "Sir, I was told this is a school. What exactly am I securing?" Vaughn's smile dropped. "Knowledge is power, Harmon. Some of our students possess valuable knowledge. Others possess valuable genetics. Your job is to make sure they stay safe and stay here." An alarm blared through the building. Vaughn checked his screen. "Perfect timing, monthly inspection, follow me." They walked to a large hall where students lined up in rows. Alien officials in uniform moved among them, scanning each student with handheld devices. "Galactic Education Council," Vaughn explained. "They check for compliance." Jack noticed Eliza standing at the end of a row. When an inspector approached her, she looked down at the floor. "Identification," the inspector demanded. Eliza remained silent. "Speak when addressed," the inspector said louder. Still nothing. Vaughn hurried over. "She's a special case. Trauma victim. I have her papers here." The inspector looked suspicious but moved on. Jack watched as Eliza's eyes followed the inspector, cold and calculating. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. His new quarters felt wrong. At 2 a.m., his security alert buzzed. He checked the screen and saw Vaughn entering the East Wing dormitory, where Eliza stayed. Jack dressed quickly and headed to the security office. The night guard looked worried. "Sir, Principal Vaughn entered the East Wing an hour ago. He hasn't come out." Jack checked the cameras. No sign of Vaughn anywhere in the building. "Show me the girls' room." The camera showed an empty bed. Jack ran to the principal's office and used his new security code to enter. On the desk was an open file labeled Terminus 9, Deathworld Subject E. Inside was a photo of Eliza and a warning label. Extreme caution. Subject displays advanced human adaptations consistent with Deathworld evolution. Jack heard a sound behind him. He turned quickly but saw nothing. When he looked back at the desk, he noticed something carved into the wooden surface that wasn't there before. A strange symbol, still fresh with what looked like blood filling its lines. Jack stared at the blood-filled symbol on the desk. His heart raced. The Academy was not what it seemed. He quickly took photos of the Terminus 9 file before putting it back. The next morning, the Academy was in chaos. Staff members rushed through hallways. Students whispered in corners. Principal Vaughn was officially missing. "We need to form search teams," Vice Principal Keller told Jack in the security office. "This is the third staff disappearance this year." Jack nodded but said nothing about the file he found. Instead, he pulled up the security footage again. "I'll handle the investigation," Jack said. "You keep the school running." When Keller left, Jack searched the database for more information on Eliza. Most files were locked, but he found one report from when she first arrived at the Academy. Subject was found sole survivor of Colony Outpost 17 on Terminus 9. All 200 other colonists dead. Cause of death? Unknown. Jack printed a photo of Eliza and went looking for her. He found her in the greenhouse alone among strange alien plants. You know something about Principal Vaughn? Jack said. It wasn't a question. Eliza didn't look up. Her hands moved carefully among the plants, picking dead leaves. I saw the security footage. He went to your room last night. He wanted to see what I am, Eliza said, her voice rough from lack of use. They all do eventually. Jack stepped closer. What are you? Eliza finally looked at him. Human, just like you. But humans from Terminus 9 are different. Before Jack could ask more, his comm unit buzzed. A ship had landed in the Academy's main yard without permission. Jack ran outside. A sleek black vessel sat on the landing pad. The door opened and 5 tall aliens in formal uniforms stepped out. Their skin was pale blue and their eyes completely black. I am Ambassador Krell of the Galactic Council, the lead alien announced. We are here for the Deathworld subject. Vice Principal Keller rushed forward. Ambassador, we have no notification of your visit. This is not a visit, it is an extraction. The human female from Terminus 9 is coming with us. Jack stepped forward. On whose authority? Krell's black eyes fixed on Jack. You must be the new security chief. Interesting timing, the girl is dangerous and must be contained properly. She's a student under Earth protection, Jack argued. Krell smiled, showing sharp teeth. She is a weapon, and your principal discovered this, didn't he? Jack felt cold. What do you know about Principal Vaughn? Only that those who learn too much about Deathworld humans tend to disappear. Jack's hand moved to his sidearm. The girl stays here until I complete my investigation. Krell nodded to his guards. We will wait, but not long. The Council has concerns about your academy harboring dangerous elements. After the aliens returned to their ship, Jack rushed back to find Eliza. She was no longer in the greenhouse. He searched the dormitory and found her room empty. As he turned to leave, the lights flickered. A loud boom shook the building. The emergency alarm blared. Jack ran toward the sound of the explosion. Smoke filled the corridor near the science lab. Something hit him from behind. Pain exploded in his head. He fell to the floor, vision blurring. As darkness closed in, he saw Eliza standing over him. Her eyes glowed with strange blue light. They're coming for all of us now, she whispered. Jack woke up in a dark maintenance tunnel. His head throbbed. Eliza sat against the wall watching him, her eyes no longer glowing. You hit me, Jack said, touching the bump on his head. I saved you, Eliza replied. The explosion was meant to kill us both. Jack tried to stand but felt dizzy. What's happening? Where are we? Under the academy. These tunnels lead outside the perimeter. Eliza handed him a water bottle. We need to move. They're scanning for us. Who is? The Galactic Council. This school isn't what you think. It's a research facility. They study humans from harsh worlds. Jack drank the water. His military instincts kicked in. Why? Because they fear us. Eliza stood up. Humans from death worlds like Terminus 9 adapted to survive. We're stronger, faster. Some of us have other abilities. Like glowing eyes? Jack asked. Eliza ignored the question. Principal Vaughn found out they were taking students for experiments. He was going to expose them. A loud bang echoed through the tunnel. Metal doors slammed shut in the distance. They've locked down the academy, Jack said. We need to get to my office. I can access the security system. They moved through the dark tunnels. Jack noticed how Eliza moved without making sound, like a predator. At a junction, she suddenly pulled him back. Guards ahead, she whispered. Jack hadn't heard anything, but seconds later, 2 armed aliens in black uniforms walked past their hiding spot. They reached a maintenance ladder. Jack climbed up and carefully opened the hatch. They emerged in an empty classroom. The security office is 2 floors up, Jack said. They moved through empty hallways. The academy was on lockdown, students confined to their rooms. As they turned a corner, they ran into Vice Principal Keller. Harmon, what are you doing with her? Keller reached for his comm device. Jack knocked it from his hand. What's really going on here, Keller? What happens to the Deathworld students? Fear flashed across Keller's face. You don't understand. The council demands specimens. If we don't provide them, they'll take all our students. Specimens? Jack grabbed Keller's collar. These are children, not her. Keller pointed at Eliza. She's something else, something dangerous. Alarms blared. Red lights flashed in the hallway. They're coming, Eliza said. We need to go now. They ran to the security office. Jack used his code to enter. Inside, screens showed aliens in combat gear moving through the academy. I need to download the security files, Jack said, typing quickly. Evidence of what they're doing. The door burst open. Ambassador Krell entered with 4 armed guards. Security Chief Harmon, how disappointing. Krell's black eyes fixed on Eliza. And the Deathworld specimen trying to escape. Jack reached for his weapon, but the guards were faster. A stun blast hit him in the chest. He fell to his knees, body numb. Take them both, Krell ordered. The girl for the program, the man for questioning. The guards dragged them to a lower level Jack had never seen before. The walls were metal and the air smelled like a hospital. They passed rooms with medical equipment and strange tanks. In one room, Jack saw Principal Vaughn strapped to a table. His eyes were open but empty. Wires connected his head to machines. What did you do to him? Jack demanded. Krell smiled. We improved him, just as we'll improve you, once we understand your connection to the girl. Connection? Jack asked. Don't pretend, Harmon, we know why you were sent here. Krell touched a screen, bringing up Jack's DNA profile. Your genetic markers match those from Terminus 9. You're one of them. Jack stared at the DNA profile on the screen. His mind raced. It couldn't be true. He had grown up on Earth, not some deadly planet. You're lying, he said to Krell. Your grandparents were from Terminus 9, Krell replied. The genes skip generations sometimes. That's why you survived 15 years of military combat when others died. Guards pushed Jack and Eliza into separate cells. The walls were clear so they could see each other but not touch. Did you know? Jack asked Eliza. She nodded. I sensed it when we met. Deathworlders can recognize each other. Jack paced his cell. My wife died 2 years ago. She worked for Earth Intelligence. Was she watching me? She was protecting you, Eliza said. There are people who help hide Deathworlders from the Council. A loud explosion shook the facility. Alarms blared. The clear walls of their cells flickered and went dark. Jack felt something change inside him. His senses sharpened. He could hear guards running down distant hallways. He could smell their fear. The cell door slid open. A man in a maintenance uniform stood there. I'm Ben. We need to move now, he said. They ran through the chaos. Guards fought against unseen attackers. Jack saw Eliza moving with incredible speed, taking down aliens twice her size. Who are you people? Jack asked Ben as they ducked into a service elevator. Resistance. Humans and aliens who oppose the Council's Deathworlder program. The elevator took them deep underground. They emerged in a large cave system beneath the academy. Dozens of people worked at computer stations. Some were human, others alien species Jack didn't recognize. A woman approached them. I'm Maya. Welcome to the Resistance, Jack. How long has this been going on? Jack asked. Years. The Council has been hunting Deathworlders across the galaxy. They fear us. Why? Maya pointed to a star map. Humans adapt faster than any species they've encountered. On harsh planets, we evolve abilities they can't match. They're afraid we'll replace them. Jack thought of his wife. Was Sarah part of this? Maya nodded. She was one of our best. She married you to keep you hidden. The truth hit Jack like a punch. She didn't love me. She died protecting you, Eliza said quietly. That's love. Maya showed them to a communication center. We've been gathering evidence of the Council's program. With what you downloaded from the Academy, we can expose them to the Galactic Assembly. Jack watched the screens. The Academy was under full attack now. Council forces against resistance fighters. We need to get this data out now, Maya said. The Council is planning something big, a purge of all suspected Deathworlders. How many people are we talking about? Jack asked. Millions across Earth and the colonies. A resistance fighter ran in. We have a problem. Someone sent our location to the Council. They're coming. The cave shook as explosions hit above them. Dust fell from the ceiling. We need to evacuate, Maya ordered. Jack grabbed a weapon. I'll help hold them off. Eliza stood beside him. Me too. They moved to the entrance tunnel. Council forces were breaking through the outer doors. Stay behind me, Jack told Eliza. She gave him a cold smile. Watch and learn what a real Deathworlder can do. The doors burst open. Council soldiers poured in. Eliza moved forward faster than Jack could follow. Her hands became weapons. Her movements were like water. Soldiers fell before they could fire. Jack stared in shock as the girl single-handedly took down a dozen trained soldiers. When she turned back to him, her eyes glowed blue and blood covered her hands. Now, do you understand why they fear us? She asked. A massive explosion rocked the cave. The ceiling began to collapse. They're trying to bury us, Jack yelled. Maya ran to them. It's worse than that. They've activated orbital weapons. They're going to sterilize the entire area. The cave shook as rocks fell from the ceiling. Jack grabbed Eliza's arm and pulled her toward the back exit. We need to get to the surface, Maya shouted over the noise. There's a ship in the forest clearing. They ran through narrow tunnels as the base collapsed behind them. 20 resistance fighters followed them. The rest stayed behind to send the data about the Council's crimes. Jack felt different. His body moved faster. His mind worked clearer. The Deathworld genes inside him were waking up. They reached the surface and emerged into a night forest. Above them, the sky glowed red. Orbital weapons were warming up. We have 15 minutes before they fire, Maya said, checking her device. Jack looked back at the Academy in the distance. Fires burned in several buildings. Council ships hovered above. We can't outrun an orbital strike, Jack said. Eliza pointed to the largest Council ship. We need to get up there. Stop it from the inside. That's suicide, Maya argued. No, Jack said, understanding forming. She's right. If we can take control of the main ship, we can stop the attack. They ran through the forest toward the Academy. Jack felt his senses sharpen with each step. He could see in the dark now. He could hear the heartbeats of those around him. At the edge of the Academy grounds, they found a small Council shuttle. 2 guards stood watch. Jack moved without thinking. His body knew what to do. The guards were down before they could raise their weapons. I'll fly, Maya said, jumping into the pilot seat. The shuttle lifted off. They flew toward the massive Council flagship hanging in the sky. They'll shoot us down, one fighter said. No, Eliza replied. They'll think we're returning from the surface. She was right. The flagship let them dock in a small bay. As soon as the doors closed, they attacked. Jack and Eliza moved as one, taking down guards with brutal efficiency. Get to the bridge, Jack told Maya. We'll find the weapon controls. Jack and Eliza fought their way through the ship. Council soldiers fell before them. Jack had never felt so powerful, so alive. They reached the main control room. Inside, Ambassador Krell waited with Commander Vex, the head of Council forces. I knew you would come, Vex said. Deathworlders are so predictable. Guards surrounded them. Jack and Eliza stood back to back. Why do you fear us so much? Jack asked. Vex laughed. You still don't understand. Our prophets foretold this centuries ago. A human from the death planets would bring the end of our civilization. That's why you hunt us? Because of some prophecy? Look at her. Vex pointed at Eliza. She's not just any Deathworlder. She's what happens after generations of evolution on the harshest planet we know. She's the next step. Jack looked at Eliza. Her eyes glowed brighter now. The girl is the beginning of your end, Vex said. That's why she must die. Guards raised their weapons. Jack prepared to fight. Suddenly the ship rocked violently. Alarms blared. Earthship's approaching, someone shouted. They've found us. Jack used the distraction to attack. He took down 3 guards before they could react. Eliza moved like lightning, reaching Vex in seconds. You can't stop what's coming, Vex said as Eliza grabbed him. I am what's coming, she replied. The ship shook again. Through the viewport, Jack saw Earth military vessels firing on the Council fleet. Maya's voice came over the comm. Jack, we've taken the bridge. The orbital weapons are disabled. Jack reached the weapon controls and shut them down completely. He turned to see Eliza standing over Vex's body. It's over, Jack said. Eliza shook her head. It's just beginning. Later, as Earthship secured the academy and freed the students, Jack stood with Eliza watching the sunrise. What happens now? He asked. The galaxy learns the truth. Humans aren't the weak species they thought we were. Eliza looked at him. We're the apex predators they always feared. Jack thought about his wife, about her sacrifice to keep him safe, about the truth of who he really was. And us? The Deathworlders? Eliza smiled, her eyes glowing softly in the morning light. We stop hiding.